And I would like you to take this opportunity. Maybe you just give us just a little bit, a snippet of who is Emmanuel Jal, your journey to where you are today.
Well, my name is Emmanuel Jal, and currently I'm a recording artist, an entrepreneur. They call me also activist, peace activist. So I was born in Sudan in the 80s, and during that time the country was at war, and that war reached the core of my family. So basically all my aunties from my mom's side died. My mother too was taken by that war, and all my uncles except two. Then by the age of 7, my father told me I'm going to go to school in Ethiopia, where we had to walk hundreds and hundreds of miles, where some children died of starvation, some died of dehydration. Then I ended up becoming a child soldier during that time. It was my early childhood has always been rough, so after every survival there's another one and another one.
Challenge after challenge.
Challenges to challenge. The lowest point I've ever been was when my friend was dying, and I told him I'm going to eat you tomorrow. So that's the lowest.
What?
Oh my.
Yeah, so there was a situation.
Wait, your friend was dying and you...
I told him I'll eat you tomorrow, and then I was waiting for him to die so I could eat him. That was the lowest point.
You actually did? You ate him?
Luckily I didn't, because I made a prayer and I said, God, if you're there, give me something to eat. And if you show up, I'll always tell this story. And so when my friend died, I waited in the morning. Didn't want to sleep. I knew, because I know once you sleep, death, when you're starving, there's a sweet feeling that is calling you to close your eyes, and that's with the God. So I was fighting it until a crow came in the morning on top of a tree. Then another child soldier shot that crow, and that crow fell between my legs, and that's the one that prevented me from eating my friend. If that crow was not shot, I was going to eat my friend.
What?
That's crazy.
It was a survival, Jen. So we're eating snails, vultures. But to me, that's the lowest, one of the lowest points. There's several lowest points in our journey, in each and every stage. I always say, like, suffering is essential for growth. And when we don't find a meaning in our suffering, we exist to suffer. So the three parts of our journeys: suffering, and then there's struggle, and then there's success. And it's a cycle.
It is, yes it is.
When you reach success, there's another challenge that comes. So I look at it, problems is like when you go to class 1 is difficult. You sit for exam, you pass. If you don't pass the exam, you repeat class 1.
Yes.
So that's how it is with challenges. It has come. Are you going to repeat the class or pass the test?
Yeah.
You have to pass the test.
Yeah.
It depends on how strong you are.
Suffering, struggle, success.
So did you get to Ethiopia?
Yeah, we managed to get to Ethiopia, and then when I arrived in Ethiopia, that's when I became a child soldier. And the experience where I was tempted to eat my comrade was when I was like around 12, 13 there, where I was already a child soldier. So we planned an escape from a place called Juba, which is the current city now. So I was a child soldier around that area.
You used to go out and fight? You were trained how to use a firearm?
Yeah, I was one of the lucky kids. So most of the generals or commanders, they would always like to favor me. They don't want me to go to a battlefield. But with war, when you're in a battlefield, it comes. When your soldiers lose the front line, they come to you, and then you lose your base. So sometimes we lose our base, or sometimes we get a new base. But the one I don't like the most, I have no issue with attacking. When you go as a group, it's fun. The beat of the AK-47 itself drive you. The sad part is when you, as a kid, you don't know you die once. So the people that die now, it's the things that happens that play themselves when you're in a peaceful environment,
Wow.
So the only time I experienced traumatic experiences when I was in Kenya. But when you're down there, no. The one I hate the most is shelling, where they just bombard you every day. Bombs just dropping, and you're not fighting back. So you don't know when it's gonna fall on you. And I think there's one situation that I remember that is, and I think intuition or our senses, if we're listening content. There's a time I was in a bunker. Then something told me, get out. They said, you have to obey orders. When you're set in your place, you stay in your place.
Yeah.
So I left and entered a different bunker. And when I'm in that different bunker, inside that bunker, I started staying, chilling myself on another, on the back of it. But something tell me if you don't move right now, you'll die. So I moved to the side. When I moved to the side, like a big, we know when the bombs drop, there's like big sliding stuff that moves.
Yes.
It just came straight and passed through here like that.
It passed your neck.
Ooh.
It didn't hit, it just passed. When I just moved like this.
Below.
So what was it? Sometimes you wonder what told me to do so. You know?
It's good.
You say it's God, but now when you got out and the bomb finished dropping, the place I was in before, there was a bomb that dropped in it.
Oh my.
It's completely destroyed. But when I was in this bunker, the soldiers tell, Jal, why are you here? You're not supposed to be here. Are you scared? I said, I'm not scared. Something just told me to come here. So now when I went out there, one soldier told me, yes, that's something that tell you to move. Always tell me to move when I move, something happens. So your intuition, he told me you have strong intuition to listen to.
Wow.
Sometimes we get messages of things telling us to do something. Yeah, so to me, when those flashback comes, they can hit you hard. But when you have something to hold on, I always say be spiritual. If it's God that you have, there's nothing more important in life than being able to have joy and peace of mind every day.
Amen.
You know? And so that's up to now, like when every challenge comes, I always say, thank you, God, for trusting me with this challenge. And because it's a process. Anything we want in life, the universe prepared the training ground for it. You pass, then you go. It's like promotion for job.
You have to pass a test.
Yeah.
So that you can progress to another
Next
level.
step, yeah.
Wow. Story ya Emmanuel Jal ni story ambayo inagusa sana kama ulivyosikia. Amepitia changamoto nyingi mpaka kufika kipindi ambapo anasafiri kwa miguu, yuko na mwenzake wanakosa chakula, mwenzake anafariki.
Namsubiria yani anamwambia wewe nangoja ufe ni baadaye basi niweze kula wewe. Ila akafanyika mambo
yani akaomba Mungu nisaidie nipate chakula ili nisimle rafiki yangu. Na kwa bahati nzuri kuna ndege ambaye alikuja, mwenzake akampiga risasi, alipoanguka kwenye miguu yake ndio kikawa chakula. Ameyavumilia mengi sana, ameyapitia mengi, hata kukosa na marisasi, mabomu, mpaka leo hii yuko hapa. But how did he get out of the war zone? How did he get to here where he is right now? How did he become a musician? That story that we are coming up with in a few. Siende mbali, ikiwa ni katika Mseto Throwback Thursday, Mseto TBT. Emmanuel Jal has a new song. I'm sure hii ni ngoma ambayo utaipenda sana. Kwa hivyo jitayarishe kuweza kusikiliza the song ambayo atakuwa anaizungumzia muda sio mrefu. Ikiwa ni kwenye Mseto TBT ambapo pia tunakuja.
When we plan an escape, we're between 200 to 400 and only 16 people survive. Then we ended up in a place called what? I met a British aid worker called Emma McCune. And then she smuggled me to Kenya.
Oh.
On a plane, just brought me to Kenya. And she had rescued over 150 child soldiers, but I was the only one that she took and brought here. You know, those days there was no cameras. So you just step on the airport and I'll crawl around the bags. Then I just look like any Turkana kids.
A little smuggle.
A little smuggle. I was brought here illegally.
Hey.
Yeah.
Ukafika Kenya, ukaenda kukaa wapi sasa? Maisha yakazaje?
The place tulikuwa tunakaa, the first place I stayed was Karen with our friends, and then
okay. Na mwanamke aliyekusmuggle alikuwa ni mke wa, nadhani alikuwa ni mke wa the current
vice president of
alikuwa mke wake kabla hajafariki.
Yeah.
Because I think she died on a road accident.
hapo. Hiyo njia ya kwenda Kaungwara, about 46.
Yeah, 46.
Yeah. Alipata ajali akafariki.
Sad.
When she died, how did you manage to make it?
It was difficult because it's almost like here's somebody who has come and turn your life all together,
and then she died,
and they're gone. So it's like my life is always something. There's always something good happened. Then now I'm used to it. So instead of complaining about what happens, so I accept the problem with gratitude. Shida kikuja nase Mungu asante kwa kunibariki kwa hii shida, umeni chose to do it. Kwa sababu it's like in the mission, you're a soldier. You're given a command to attack a town with better arm than you. You can either attack it or run. So I look at it, problem kama is the mission brought to you. Once you finish it, Mungu anafurahi, napata credit yako, anakupatia the next town to capture. Like that.
Wow. So now how did you get into music?
Well, music, I'm an accidental musician. Never planned to be a musician.
Why?
But you know, I'm a kid that always, I see something, somebody does, I want to be that. I used to use my imagination, even as a kid. One of the things that helped me survive is my imagination. Where I see somebody do something and I imagine to be that. And see how it is. Then I go and find out how to become it. And so, I wanted to be a boxer one time. Anything that can get me out of my difficult situation. But with a purpose attached to it. Once I get there, I want to use that power to do something. And so music, at that time I was made a youth leader. So we used to go to people's houses here in Kenya, tunawasha magari zao ama compound zao, alafu wanatulipa pesa and then tunaweka msichana ama kijana shule. But eventually one day I was going to motivate some young South Sudanese. Then I entered a matatu nikasikiza Puff Daddy that time. Did a song called Jesus My Best Friend. And I saw gangsters can sing about God and their issues. Then I went and wrote my first song. Tukaenda studio, tukaform group yetu, and tukapewa track ya freestyle. Tukasema yo, yeah. Then I told us, take your money, get the hell out of here.
Waliona hamjui kuimba?
Hajui kuimba, tulifukuzwa.
Mlifukuzwa kwa studio?
Yeah, tulifukuzwa.
Studio gani hiyo?
Hata sikumbuki studio ingine. Kulikuwa ingine hapo karibu na Makini hapo. There was a studio there.
Jamaa akamwambia shika pesa yako. Hamjui kuimba.
He was protecting. But you know what happened? There's a guy called the two people. I went to several studios. The two people that took me is there's Chris Adwar, and then there is Junior. That guy who we call him Junior. That's labda mnaita SK sijui, but he was called Junior. At that time we call him Junior. So one time, because they have keyboard in their house. You know, when you want something really bad, you go for it. So this guy tell me, come here, come to my house. But his father does not allow him to do music. So we used to go to Naiba party and then Zafanya and tengeneza a track. So I climbed the fence illegally. So one day nika climb, nikaumwa na dogi.
Oh yeah.
Nikamwambia dogi, sasa unajua mimi unaniumia nini? Si unaniangalia mimi ni mwizi kweli?
Dogi unamwambia?
I was talking to the dog. Sasa you're busy me for what? I'm not even fighting you. So the dog stopped. Akaniwacha nikakuja. Dog akaniwacha tu.
Lakini alikuwa na majeraha, alikutia meno.
Aliniweka kwa matako, anaanza kutoka pale, nikaongea naye na dog ikastop. Akaanza kukaa tu hivi, akasonga nyuma hivi, akaniwacha. Then Junior took me, we make music. So Junior, what Chris Adore and Junior did to me was amazing. They told me, okay, Jal, if you want to rap, it's different. There's a style to it. What you have is called spoken word, you know, but hip hop has rhythm. So if you go ta ha ha ha, within those things, you put your rhyme 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you do it 4 bars, the next bar you change a little bit. Can you do that? Nikasema sawa. Nikaenda tu, then I that's how it began. Simple like that.
You're willing to teach him.
Yeah. And when you're in all the musicians were hustling down there, you have to understand, you have to hustle. Even one time we wanted DJ Moz to play my music. So when DJ Moz has a show, we show up. Naenda nampatia CD yangu. So we play it too. Then all the time, baka DJ. One day, and then I set a group of young people to nenda kwa call box. Tunapiga simu with different tone. Please go you play for me that song called Ngwa.
Kwa radio station.
Yeah.
Unajirequestia ngoma yako.
Yangu. Different Kenyan tone. Then eventually with pressure, pressuring DJ Moz here, then eventually, DJ anashanga hii song iko itapatikana wapi?
Ikabidi.
Then one day DJ Moz akasema, okay, I'm going to play your song. So I played it once. That was it. And then the other person that gave me an opportunity tonight was Philip Mwaniki.
Yes, he's here actually.
He's the one who wrote the article that gave me international breakthrough. Akaandika moja to New York Times, fix it, and from then nikaanza kuperform ngambo.
Wow.
Philip he's actually here.
Yeah.
He works here.
The department of also on that other side.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he's the one who gave you that.
The way he wrote his article just caught the eye of the international press, and that was huge.
And it was your breakthrough.
It was a big breakthrough because I was
We
being
need to
called.
find Philip.
Yeah.
We need to find
Philip.
We need to find Philip.
Find Philip.
So that aside, what are some of your achievements? The things that you live to celebrate as your achievements?
You know, I always say is, whatever you do as a person is God's will.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to count it.
Mm.
It's what I look at in my life is a work of art that I create.
Mm.
So, and I'm still working on that piece of art. The only time when I'm gone is other people to see that work of art, but not me.
Mm.
And so, at the moment, I would say the greatest achievement that I could call is my ability to be able to have peace of mind and joy.
Mm.
When you don't have that joy, you have no idea when your heart is empty.
True.
You know, because I've been there, and I cannot live a day without that light glowing in my heart.
Wewe ukiwa mtu ambaye ushai kuingia kwenye vita ukiwa na umri mdogo sana, have you been able to get that out of your mind? Umekuwa mtu labda, has it affected you as a person na tabia zako?
In any effect, when I was here in Kenya, imagine I repeated one class 4 times. There's different obstacles. You know, when you're traumatized, sometimes you can lose sense of focus. It come in different ways. It could come in form of excessive anxieties. It could also come in defeats of the past can lead to the depression. It can rob you your life in the moment. So you're stuck in the past, so you cannot move forward. So for example, I'm in a class and the teacher was teaching, then my head is stuck in an event on the past. So sometimes I'd wish the teacher asked me a question, Jal, what is in your mind? Could be a flashback, could be triggered by a policeman, or it could be triggered by a word the teacher said, or what a student did. So you never know what will trigger you. So I had to deal with that. So sometimes you talk like now, if 3 of us are talking, we don't know what word will trigger who.
In which way?
In which way.
True. Wow. Hey. But now you're happy that you've achieved the peace, the inner peace and joy.
That's the only thing you can give. That's the only thing you can give.
I say. Your story is deep, is touching, and now you're here with a brand new song. Kindly take this away. But it's an exclusive. Hii hapo unaisikiza mara ya kwanza. Exclusively. Hapa kwenye mseto. Kutoka kwa Emmanuel Jal. What's the name of the song and what is it about?
The song is called Rakaboom.
Rakaboom?
Rakaboom. Which means raha. Raha. So you know, like Kiswahili unaweza
raha.
Furaha maraha. Boom in my mother tongue means strong.
Raha boom.
Yeah. Rest strong. I'm a relax strong.
Aya basi sikiza kazi ambayo inakuja mtongo. DJ Flash drop it like it's hot, na zaidi hapo tunakuja kwa ajili ya kuweza kukabidhi ushindi.